Hello and good evening. My name is Nealay Patel and I'm a designer here at Jesse James Beads. My job is to bring you cool, inspirational, and unique ideas with using Jesse James Beads, my favoriteest company in the world for making custom, gorgeous beads that I drool over constantly. Now, speaking of, has anyone checked out the Pantone collection? It is no secret now, my friends. That is an immaculate, beautiful collection of the most in trend right now Pantone colors, and they have a total of 12 that they've selected, and I got the collection in and I've just been drooling over them indeed. And so I wanted to show you guys a few of my favorites. This is Little Boy Blue, and I happen to have both strands of those. Whoops, let me put these down. I want to pick them all up and play with them is really what I want to do, but check that out. That's gorgeous. I love these custom beads. There are quite a few unique ones in this strand. I actually have picked out my favorite. I love this one, but I'm a contemporary kind of guy. But you know, this collection I think comprises of more bright to pastel colors, and so I was pleasantly surprised that Pantone did switch from more jewel tones to more of the softer Pantone colors. So that's Little Boy Blue. I have here a strand of Imperador. I think that's how it's, Imperador, excuse me. Isn't that pretty? Look at those beads. I'm just in awe. And the strands that they put together are just rich, I think, is the word I'm searching for, and very, very unique. And I'm surprised that they also included some elements of gold as well as copper, so you're really getting quite a variety even with the one strand. And this one is Meadowlark. Now, I especially love, this strand because of these cute, cute little owls over here. If you buy the strand for nothing else, it would be for these owls for me. I think that does it. However, I also really love these bead caps. I haven't actually used them in any projects yet, so just holler if you all want to see that done in some sort of a unique project. I really dig them. There's 4 total in this one strand, plus you get the 2 little owls for whatever purpose. I think they make cute earrings, or 2 pendants for a necklace, hey. So anyways, that's Meadowlark. And another color that I really love is the Lime Punch. That's this one right here. And again, you get the beautiful bead caps as well as these other really sparkly beads. So quite a variety, and from what I've been told as well, if you love the colors and you love all 12 of them, then I believe you can get the entire bundle at a discount, so that's pretty awesome. So I definitely recommend you guys checking that out on jessejamesbeads.com. Now tonight's tutorial, I'm actually taking a strand of the Lime Punch. I think this one is strand number 1, and I'm going to be using strand number 2 to create a technique using softflex wire. I happen to have some softflex wire in my inventory, and it was kind of all kinked up, sadly, but it kind of generated an idea that I had utilized in the past, and that's sort of kinking it on purpose to create a technique, a texture over the beads. So what I'm going to do is turn the camera around and we can check out what I'm talking about. So, and then we can also go over my materials list too. So, all right, I'm going to flip the camera. Okay, so here I already have a strand, and guys, I cheated. I took the entire strand of Lime Punch number 2, and I totally just strung it together and crimped it. I just love the way that the strand look, I must admit, and I did not see a reason to break it apart. And so here are the actual beads that you're getting from it, just absolutely gorgeous. These lampwork beads are awesome. So pretty. So what I've also done, aside from just crimping it onto a clasp, is that I have a second strand that I crimped and I just trimmed off that little end. But I have about maybe 2 feet of excess wire, and as you can see on one side, it's pretty kinked up, and that's kind of what I'm going for And what I'm gonna do is kind of layer it over the necklace so it spirals around. So I'm gonna drag my fingernail just like a curling ribbon and start to like create this really kinked up sort of look. And I'm just gonna sort of twist it around my beads as I go along. Now here's the cool thing. Aside from doing that, I'm actually going to take some of the beads from the, this is the Elements mix. And these are the smaller beads within the collections, the ones that I think fill up for, you know, these can be sort of the focal beads, and then you got the extra added beads to it. So design elements, and it comes with some other stuff too. Like you got a cool little owl here, charm, that's pretty awesome. You got a ton of dragonflies. So there's some really fun stuff in here to play with. And so kind of what I want to do is pick out some beads from there and sprinkle that into my design. So here I'm just going to pick up a bead and string it on. In fact, you know what? I'm going to pick up a few, that way I don't have to keep restringing and stopping. So I'm just, with no rhyme or reason, I'm just going to pick up a bunch of these. And I'll just drag kind of one at a time in there and leave the others off to the side. But again, I'm just dragging my fingernail and I'm like totally kinking it up on purpose. And I'm just going to kind of twist it around this bracelet. There we go. Maybe I'll add another bead into that, and then using my fingernail, you can kind of adjust. If you accidentally kink it and it didn't go into a direction that you wanted it, just go ahead and run your thumbnail right through that twist and turn to straighten that wire back out again. Super easy technique. In this case, I guess it would be happy accidents, however you want to look at it. You could actually just do this to the entire wire and then go ahead and twist it around your bracelet form as well, if you didn't want to go, you know, a little bit at a time. That is totally up to you. There is no right or wrong way to do this. So here again, I'm just gonna, if I have a little flat area, I can go ahead and kink that, twist it around. So you can kind of see it's like, it's getting into a really fun bracelet. And I don't have to put crimps between my beads. I kind of like the idea that it is free and moving around. I kind of like the idea that they're, you know, just floating there. So that's kind of what I'm going to do, just to leave it. Again, just kinking and twisting. No special technique there. Really easy. I can finish up this design in like 15 minutes, especially since I cheated. Just crimped straight from the strand. Of course, I did transfer over to a different beading wire. I'm using actually the silver beading wire that's inside as well as the outside casing. So silver all around. So this is looking pretty fun, actually. I really love it. I like this green on green tone. And I'm just gonna string some beads along here and continue to kink away at this. There we go. And I'm almost to the finish line here. So what I'm gonna do is just finish it off with maybe one more bead. And I'm just gonna crimp it onto the clasp. So I'll pick up, let's see. I did have my crimp here somewhere. So now I'm looking for it in my pile of stuff. Ah, I found it. Okay. So tiny that it gets lost. I'm just using a 2mm crimp. I'm going to string that on. I'm going to put in my wire into the clasp there, and then just come back out and into the crimp again. And I am just going to use my handy dandy Zuron pliers to crimp my little tube. So I'm just going to insert it into that very last notch, which looks like a little V. And that'll create my crimp, which separates my wires into 2 channels. And then I'm going to turn it on its side and use that middle notch. As you can see, it's got 3 different notches in there. And each one of them is for a different crimp size. So in this case, I'm using a size that's considered like a middle size, which is a 2mm crimp. And so I'll just insert it into the middle notch and then just simply press shut. So that pretty much creates my crimp. You can give it a good tug if you feel like you didn't do it correctly, but it looks like I did. So then I'll just take my handy dandy Xuron wire cutters. They're just a pair of flush cutters, and just trim away that little wire. And that pretty much concludes my bracelet. I mean, how funky is that? Super fun. So I'm going to flip my camera back around. Ooh. Yeah, did you guys like that? I like easy design, let me tell you, and definitely Jesse James Beads makes that easy for me. Very inspirational, and I love, love, love Soft Flex wire. Go check it out. All available on jessejamesbeads.com. Be sure to check out YouTube and subscribe to us. We have a ton of tutorials out there that we are making and posting. And you can also check them out on the blog portion of the website as well. Lastly, if you love me, which I hope you do, check out my brand, Beads and Bubbles. It looks like this. It is a creative happy hour that I have live here on Facebook every last Wednesday of the month. I pick out a project to do with you guys, and I usually have a glass of champagne because it is a creative happy hour and I love champagne. And you guys can join me in a toast and make a project with me. Usually I have kits on my Etsy as well, where you can find that at nealaypatel.etsy.com. All right, folks, that is your tutorial for the evening. I hope you enjoyed it. I love all of you. And tune in this Thursday at 6 o'clock Central or 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll be back with another fabulous demonstration. All right, good night, you guys. Bye.